Hello, I'm here to talk about the security context of the recently reported anonymous hacking. Just to get you guys up to date, Anonymous has been accessing government data for almost a year. The U.S. Army, Department of Energy, Department of Health, and Human Services are just some of the agencies that's been compromised. They have been stealing over 100,000 employee information. The security context of this incident: the asset is the government and employee information. The threat is the hacker organization, and the protector should definitely be the government. For risk scenarios, we have the threat term, vulnerability, and consequence term. Threat term here includes all the following, but it's not limited to these. They're definitely anonymous. Terrorist organizations, individual hackers, mercenaries, and contract hackers. Vulnerability. The report was that Anonymous got through due to a soft spot in Adobe. They left themselves a backdoor, and they have been stealing information ever since. The consequence: over 104,000 employee records were compromised. 20,000 bank records were stolen. Military secrets could have been exploited, and Social Security and Medicare could have also been exploited. Scenarios: we have events and outcomes. Scenario 1, Anonymous just hacks for fun, and no harm is really done because they like the challenge of hacking the government. They get through, they don't really take any information, they don't really use any information, so that would be scenario 1. Scenario 2, Anonymous would use the information they've stolen to steal people's money, use it for identity theft. A lot of people would lose money. Scenario 3, Anonymous would get the information and they would sell the information to the highest bidder. This could mean terrorist organizations or mercenaries would get a hold of this information. Scenario 4, anonymous hackers could work for certain terrorist groups. This way, terrorists would have access to the critical information and potentially plan for the next attack. Scenario 5, terrorist group hacks the system and get a hold of important information. They could either use it for physical or financial means to harm the United States. For assessing the impact, we did a pairwise ranking here. We compared the first event, which is no harm done, to events 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we see here that event 1 is the least impactful. Event 2, when Anonymous used the information to steal people's money, that's the second least impactful. Still be pretty bad. 3, as you can see here, 3, it's worse than 2 and 1, but 4 and 5 has to beat, and 4 actually is the most can do the most harm because there's just more room for more damage. For assessing the probability, did a ratio method, and the way I did it is that I thought how a anonymous hacker should think, and they want to do something that will cause the most damage. So the probability is not necessarily the probability of it happening, it's the probability of what the anonymous hacker should be looking to do with it. Option 1 is the least dangerous option. We can all agree to that. This means it's the least probable, because if I was a anonymous hacker, I wouldn't just want to do this for fun. I want to do this to cause some pain and suffering to the society. Option 2 is 2 times more dangerous. As you can see here, option 3 is 3 times as dangerous as option 1. 4 is 5, and option 5 is 4 times as dangerous, which I got that conclusion from the previous section of assessing impact. What this means is that if I was an anonymous hacker, I look to steal the information and sell it to a terrorist group. Or I can just work for the terrorist group, but this way I can get money out of this situation, and I could potentially be the reason a lot of harm can be caused to the United States. Synthesis of the scenarios. All the scenarios given are probable. There's been reports anonymous hacks for fun all the time, but even with hacking for fun, when they leave back doors, other hackers or other terrorist groups, they can get in the back door and steal the information for themselves just as easy. So all the scenarios will end up doing great damage to the United States. Implications. We can definitely learn from this incident, see what we can take away from it. Next time, we should see if there's a better way of resolving a problem or preventing incidents like this to happen. It would be learning from a loss as opposed to learning from a win. The limitations. The full report hasn't come out yet. We don't always have access to the details. The current information is just based on the statements from the FBI and what the government has reported. It was just simply off an article from Gizmodo. It is just a synopsis. We don't have exact reports on what went wrong with Adobe. So this is just a simple analysis.